out, Mike Joy.
White flag.
All right, he's already celebrating. Don't say anything. Get it on around here.
Dale Earnhardt, Ernie Irvan, Elliott Sadler, Rusty Wallace, and now Kurt Busch is a first-time Winston Cup winner at Bristol. Jimmy Spencer a car length ahead of Ricky Rudd for second.
Good car.
In his 48th start, Kurt Busch gets his first win. It's only his third race at Bristol and his first top 20 finish here. And he becomes the 5th winner in 2002 in 6 races.
And I'm so proud for Jimmy Fenton, his crew chief. He was Mark Martin's crew chief. They've not won a race since back in April of 2000. I believe Steve Burns is with him right now.
Yeah, with a happy Jimmy Fenton. Gutsy call to stay out there, Jimmy. What does this mean to you?
I'll tell you, this team's they've been working hard all year. You know, we've been close, but I'll tell you, Kurt did an awesome job. He's the man.
A lot of laps to stay out on those tires and not come in.
Yeah, but Goodyear's got a good tire. I'm telling you, Rick Campbell and them guys, my hat's off to Goodyear. Love them.
Notice anything from last year when Elliott Sadler won the same way?
Yeah, everybody should have paid attention.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kurt Busch salutes the crowd.
The white flag will be up when they come back. The Ryan Newman car going a lap down in 15th place. Final lap in Martinsville, half mile to go. Is it win 2 for Kurt Busch or the first victory for Johnny Benson?
Well, Kurt's got nobody in front of him right now, so I know that he's probably a little bit happy about that.
He got away from him off 2. Final shot, final corner. Benson can't get close enough. Winston Cup win number 2 for Kurt Busch. He takes the Old Dominion 500.
Guys, awesome. Boys, that was an awesome stop. I need a water and some towels.
Oh, that was your winner, Kurt Busch.
Wore out. And Rudd did get 3rd place.
He started 36th. Kurt Busch coming from farther back in the field than any driver ever has to win at Martinsville Speedway, and farther back than anyone has to win so far this 2002 season. Back live at Atlanta Motor Speedway. NAPA 500 under the caution flag for rain. 246 of the 325 scheduled laps are complete, and we're thinking we're not going to see too many more laps.
I mean, rain might have won because it is starting to come down pretty doggone heavy, as you can see under the lights there.
We're pretty lucky we got it this far.
Yes, we are.
All right, the word's just gone out. When they come to the stripe this time, they'll show them the white flag. And this race is going to end in just 2 more laps behind the pace car. Reason being, the racetrack has gotten wet. They would have to put the track drying equipment out. It would take too long to get that all done.
It's about we can see how hard it's raining as we see the Kurt Busch pit crew, Jack Roush sitting there, all the Roushketeers getting wet.
It's more rain on the radar, and we've probably got more in than we should have of this race today. So 248.
Don't forget you got one more, the big one.
Don't forget, Kurt, run one more lap.
Thanks, Kinzer. Appreciate it, buddy.
Going to come up at 382 miles of the scheduled distance today. And how about this young kid? Talked about it earlier, VP, just a couple of years ago, was working for the water utility in Las Vegas.
Man, and here he is, won 2 NASCAR Winston Cup races in a row. The winner last week at Martinsville, a half mile, 12-degree bank. He comes here to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, mile and a half, quad oval, 24-degree bank. Doesn't make any difference to this kid.
And he's got a younger brother coming up through the ranks. They say is every bit as good.
That was so young he couldn't run NASCAR touring races this year. Had to go to a different division to race.
Kurt Busch is going to clinch the Manufacturers Championship for Ford in 2002 with their victory today. Their 3rd Manufacturers title in the last 4 years. He's going to keep Joe Nemechek and Dale Jarrett out of victory lane. For Tony Stewart, a big day in the championship as he's going to finish 4th. And his pursuers, Mark Martin, will be the closest of them today, and he'll finish in 8th. Checkered flag is up. A little bit shy of the scheduled distance, but it counts nonetheless. Kurt Busch takes his 3rd victory of 2002. He wins the NAPA 500.
There you have it, Kurt. You're the man.
Those guys were a big part of it today. They cranked off some great pits.
As you see, the white flag is waving on this field.
It's the final lap of the 2002 season. Tony Stewart, 1.5 miles from a NASCAR Winston Cup championship. Kurt Busch is out in front of the race, looking to pick up his 4th victory of the season. 3 of those will come in the last 5 weeks of the year. Put Kurt Busch on your calendar as a Winston Cup title contender for 2003. Checkered flag is up. The Ford of Roush Racing wins the Ford 400. Kurt Busch is the winner at Miami. 2nd for Nemechek, 3rd for Jeff Burton. Mark Martin's title bid will be a strong one today. He'll finish 4th. But at the end of the day, the big trophy will go to Tony Stewart. The Rushville Rocket from Indiana is the 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup champion.
There's a big sigh of relief.
Yes, it is.
It didn't come easy at a track where they've dominated. In the 3 previous Winston Cup races here, an 18th place finish for the 20 car today, but it did the job. 2nd Winston Cup championship for Joe Gibbs Racing, and Tony Stewart is now just the 25th man in history to wear a NASCAR Winston Cup champions ring.
Half a lap to go for Kurt Busch.
Yeah, he's got her old cruise control. One-lap car won't be a factor. 2nd straight Food City 500 win for Kurt Busch.
Matt Kenseth finished 2nd, Bobby Labonte 3rd, Ricky Rudd 4th, Greg Biffle 5th, Sterling Marlin 6th, all lead lap cars.
And Kurt Busch becomes the 6th different winner of 2003. Here are the 2 flags a race driver most wants to see, the checkered flag and the stars and stripes.
Right here.
And this crowd, Larry, is just about all still here. You don't leave early in Bristol.
And you don't sit down very much.
2 good battles as we close in. White flag trouble. It is Martin sliding across the grass, and it's Johnson in the wall. Jimmy. Caution is out.
No, the white flag's out. You got to race back. You cannot slow down.
Now, Jimmy Johnson's car wadded up in the wall. They've got to race to the line. The leaders did not get the yellow, did they?
No, on the last lap, you race back.
In Rusty Wallace and Bobby LaPlante, they're side by side down the backstretch. This is a battle for 2nd. Kurt Busch entering turn 3 right now.
Jimmy Johnson gets his car off the wall and out of harm's way.
Mark Martin's in the middle of the grass here right at the start-finish line, but this will be the race right here. Kurt Busch coming off turn 4, Mike.
Yeah, but here comes Bobby Labonte under Rusty. Rusty drove it in there hard, shoved up. Labonte's going to beat him to the line.
6th career win for Kurt Busch. And a near photo finish at the line, Labonte for 2nd.
And how about Bill Elliott finishes 4th, Jamie McMurray 5th, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishes 6th, and Michael Waltrip 7th.
John Andretti's 8th, Sterling Marlin, Matt Kenseth.
How many times this year have we seen that 48 car spin out on the last lap?
3 times.
Boy, that's getting to be a habit.
And Matt Kenseth, our points leader, he did finish in the top 10. He finished 10th, so he won't lose too much ground. John Andretti 8th and Sterling Marlin 9th.
Let's show you the crash. Mark Martin, Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy just ran out of racetrack, Darrell.
Yeah, he bumped
got that push off turn 4.
He bumped the wall, and Mark was so close to him that he couldn't help but get into him.
And McMurray was so lucky to miss him. And here the whole field has to get their cars away from the wall.
Look at Matt Kenseth on the bottom. He may get 2 positions here. He got a heck of a run in the middle of 3 and 4. White flag this time pulls up beside the man he's battling in the points, Dale Earnhardt Jr. White flag side by side.
Junior's giving him nothing.
Boy, and Michael's right there with them too. I mean, that's a great. That's going to get interesting down here in turn 1.
Junior takes Kenseth right downstairs.
I think Michael's going to get a run on both of them right here. Nah, he can't quite fall. He's going to get by Junior.
Oh, Junior had to back up.
He pushed up off the 2 over there and had to get up out of the gas. Happens all the time.
And Michael had the draft from Kenseth rather than being up behind his teammate. The low line was working better for him.
Yeah, Junior's going to go from 4th to 7th.
Oh, trouble back straightaway. A lot of smoke car around. I think it's Mike Wallace. Here we come to the flag. Checker is out. Kurt Busch will celebrate Ford's century of Ford Motor Company with a victory at Michigan.
Bobby Labonte second, Jeff Gordon third, points leader Matt Kenseth the fourth, and Michael Waltrip with his fresh tires finishes fifth.
Sterling Marlin is sixth, and Dale Jr. seventh.
Yeah, another good top five for Michael. I tell you, he's just hanging tough in those points, guys.
Christian Fittipaldi spun on this final lap coming off turn number 2.
And that's his teammate and car owner Kyle Petty in the 45 as well.
I was mistaken. Mike Wallace was not involved.
You know, we said it before, but it is worth repeating. What a week it's been, and what a way to try and get things back on track where your racing is concerned. All the off-track items have been a distraction, but he's come out tonight, put it all aside, and driven a very hard race. Final corner, and we'll see what kind of reception he gets in victory lane. It's checkered flag number 4 for 2003. Kurt Busch takes the Sharpie 500 at Bristol.
Hung on. The third spot.
I always say you stick it behind me. I'll do it for you any day.
Kurt's thoughts to his race team. Sterling Marlin got turned around and crashed after the checkered flag.
Rusty had the bumper right there in turn 1, but Busch is driving away.
And right now, Rusty Wallace, white flag. He'll have his hands full with Kevin Harvick in that 29 car on those fresher tires. Kurt Busch pulls away by another car length down the backstretch.
Kurt Busch running. Oh, McMurray slides up the racetrack off Kenseth's bumper. Checkered flag, Kurt Busch.
Man, I think Matt Kenseth in the 17 kind of drop-kicked Jamie McMurray in the 42 car.
And here comes McMurray, and there goes the 30 around. Here comes McMurray up here looking for the 17.
And after the flag, Sauter came down and ran in the back of somebody.
Here we go. And the line will start to form.
I told you, though,
Oval Office. Here he comes. He's still got him. He's mad. Turkey you.
And he turned him around down on the apron. You're right.
And who did Johnny Sauter get down in turn 1 after the flag?
I think he was just trying to get slowed down, somebody run into him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
green-white checker. Once the leader's taken the white flag, if the yellow waves, that's it. It's done. It's only if the yellow comes out before the white flag, and there aren't enough, and they need extended time to get the race restarted.
Jeff is right on the bumper of the 97 car right there.
All right, here we go.
He drove it in pretty hard, but car cut for him.
Ryan Newman trying to stay up on Jeff Gordon.
Two laps next time by.
Gordon's creeping up on him a little bit there through the center.
Now, if there's a caution in this lap, there will be a green-white checker. But if they can get back to the line, take the white flag, this race is over.
Kurt Busch is doing a good job right now. He's not overdriving the car. He's where he wants to be. He's making it real tough for Jeff Gordon.
Behind the leader, Tony Stewart tried. Matt Kenseth for 4th, couldn't do it. And they go single file. And here they come to the white flag. So Kurt Busch with one more lap to go to try and hold off Jeff Gordon for the win. We're on the final lap in New Hampshire. Stewart tries Kenseth for 4th. And Gordon not able to stay up with Busch.
Stewart trying everything again.
Oh,
That was close.
little contact coming off the second corner.
McMurray inside of Michael Waltrip there. That'll be for 6th and 7th places. It's been a struggle over the late spring and early summer for Kurt Busch. No more. He wins today at New Hampshire International Speedway. A couple of car lengths over Jeff Gordon, his 2nd win of the season. Ryan Newman.
Does it feel good?
Dominated a lot of the day. He gets third.
Awesome job.
But should feel good.
Yeah, no, he did a good job.
Did a terrific job. Had a terrific race car. So Jimmy Fink and those guys did a great job today, Dave.
Comes past, and the white flag will be next time for Kurt Busch. It's going to be a dominant day if he can hang on for this next lap and a half. He'll have led 155 of the 300 laps today. Maximum points.
Next year, we got to make him start last. That's all there is to it. When you sweep a racetrack in the season, next year you got to start last.
And a white flag. Final lap at New Hampshire for Kurt Busch.
I think the big advantage for these guys was that nobody did get practice. Nobody could tune their cars in, and these guys had a great race car, so they didn't have a whole lot to do.
Even though he led 110 laps and won the race in July, his crew chief Jimmy Fennig told me this morning they weren't satisfied with the car. They thought other people will have caught up to them since then. They made some changes based on their experience and their knowledge, and obviously they were the right changes to have made. As Kurt Busch sees the checkered flag and begins his chase for the Nextel Cup with a victory. Matt Kenseth second, 2.5 seconds behind. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will finish third. Casey Kane and McMurray rounding out the top 5. While Ryan Newman will finish 33rd, Tony Stewart 39th, and Jeremy Mayfield 35th.
Yeah, Mike lifts in the 0 car. He's trying to stay. Michael's got trouble. Oh, he's got too high.
One more coming to the white here. 43's coming hard. Just bring it home. One more lap to go. One more lap.
He just drove it in turn 3 way too hard. He got up in the loose stuff with him. That was kind of a last-ditch effort. Waltrip should be safe in second place. Jeff Burton is 8 seconds back. Kevin Harvick, 29 car, has problems, and he will drop from 9th place. Off turn 4. Kurt Busch, the defending series champ, gets his 12th career win. The 5th win at Phoenix for car owner Jack Roush, and Busch's first victory of the season.
Guys are the best.
Michael Waltrip second. Jeff Burton in the 31 car. You heard him. Ends up third. Dale Earnhardt Jr. 4th. Brian Vickers 5th. Bobby Labonte 6th. And how about Carl Edwards up to 7th? Yeah, he passed Kyle Busch with a lap to go. The climb to 7th. Kyle is 8th. Johnny Sauter, great run at 9th place. Joe Nemechek 10th. And Kevin Harvick will limp around and be the last car on the lead lap in 19th. A lot of cars needed good runs. They got good runs tonight. 12 times in his career now, Kurt Busch has led 100 or more laps in an Nextel Cup race. Tonight he led 219. And for the 6th time, make that the 7th time in those 12 races, he is going to victory lane.
Yeah, that little deal back there gave him some breathing room between Edwards, and now we got Newman trying to take a spot from Carl Edwards.
Last lap. Newman and Edwards battle. Busch trying to pull away. Wallace looking for a second place finish. Newman under Edwards. But Carl hangs on. Newman continues with the clinic.
Here comes Stewart. Stewart's got a head of steam right there.
And his teammate Bobby Labonte behind him. Caution is out. That will decide it. Kurt Busch is the race winner. One attempt at the green-white checkered finish. The caution comes out. Kurt Busch will come back and get the checkered flag under the caution. As soon as the caution comes out, the field is frozen. They are on the track, not by scoring loop, but by visual sightings and by TV cameras around the track. There was no question here, though. Kurt Busch was the leader.
Awesome job, guys. Awesome job, Kurt Busch. Awesome.
And Kurt Busch takes the checkered flag at Pocono. Outstanding runs for Wallace and Martin. Edwards from the back of the field to 4th. Newman gets a top 5.
You're awesome. Engineer, you're fitting in. Great job, everybody. Brickhouse, you the man.
They battled through a tough day last week in New Hampshire, got a second place finish. Come here at Pocono.
Well, they got to be looking forward to Indianapolis.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. White flag, last lap of the race to the chase.
backstretch. Kurt Busch, the defending series champion, locked into the chase for the Nextel Cup, is going to take the checkered flag. Kurt Busch wins at Richmond.
Good job, guys. Good job.
And Ryan Newman.
Hear that relief?
Makes the chase for the championship by 69 points. Kurt Busch started 5th tonight, 6th short track win.
Out of the way, white flag.
Jeff Gordon just got by Matt Kenseth for 3rd space. Harvick's there. He's there.
Oh, and look at this. The 24 just went around. And here comes the 29. Can he get to him?
We're still green.
Still green. Still green. Busch wins it.
Woo! Man, I'm glad that race is over with.
Harvick 2nd, Jeff Gordon, who spun out over on the backstretch. Kenseth will end up in 3rd, Carl Edwards 4th, Bobby Labonte in the 43 car 5th.
What happened to Gordon? I was watching the lead.
17 took him, got him. Ooh. We got to go back. Oh, yeah, that's probably not very happy right there either.
Matt Kenseth denied the win by the bumper of Kurt Busch.
But, Darrell, it was less than 10 laps to go. Kurt Busch was much faster than Matt Kenseth.
Well, and the 29, I mean, the 29's going to get up there and knock Kurt Busch out of the way if he doesn't go on by Matt Kenseth. So that's just Bristol, baby. Now, that's one thing I will say. That's just.
It has been 52 races since Kurt Busch has gone to victory lane. It was in Bristol, Tennessee, back in March of 2006. He's been waiting a long time to see the white flag with him at the head of the field.
I tell you what, it's been a battle of the beer cars late in the race with Kurt Busch and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Looks like the blue car is going to win that battle today. The Miller Lite car of Kurt Busch.
His car started on the front row. Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the pole.
But boy, did Junior come back with that shock change. And boy, I tell you, Jeff Gordon, he knows he's out of time. He's going to try to get all he can out of Denny Hamlin. This is the final lap.
Battle for 3rd spot. Gordon trying to get inside of Hamlin to take the spot away to have back-to-back 3rd place finishes in that car. He got 3rd in Indianapolis, but here's the guy who has been the one to watch all day long. Total domination for Kurt Busch. As he comes through the turn, it would be the 59th win for Roger Penske. And after a 51-race winless streak, Kurt Busch takes the win at Pocono Raceway.
Man, good job. Everybody. Kurt, you are most welcome. Pat, thank you guys, everybody. Great job. Couldn't be prouder of you.
He becomes just the 2nd Dodge to win in 2007, joining Juan Pablo Montoya in the Ganassi Sabates car that won at Infineon. And the 14th different race winner here in 2007. 11 car way up across the top of the racetrack, all the way up near the wall, but the 17 slides right up in front of him. He is reeling in the 17 car that is for the 4th position.
Denny's just got to stay working the top side of the track, guys. That's where he's been the strongest. And see him run up on the bumper of the 17. That's the only chance he's got. He just seems like he can't get it done on the bottom. And as Kurt Busch now is just driving off, just that time definitely quicker than Mart Truex that very last lap. So
Kurt Busch, a 28-year-old driver from Las Vegas, Nevada. He broke a 51-race winless streak at Pocono just 3 weeks ago. Kurt Busch comes down in dominating fashion and wins at Michigan. Contact as they came across the line, pushing and shoving. Typical Michigan finish. Kurt Busch wins it, and Martin Truex finishes 2nd for the 2nd time at this racetrack this year. The 25 car. Watch the 25 of Mears and Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming to the line. Who got it?
Looks like Casey Mears just nipped him.
Casey just barely got him. Well, guys, at one time during this race, the 2-car, Kurt Busch, was up to 11th in the points, but now he's back in.
NASCAR has declared the race over. Kurt Busch is the race winner.
You know, and I disagree with what Kurt Busch says about, well, maybe we didn't deserve this. You win one of these races, I don't care how you win a cup race today, your team deserves it.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about strategy and we talk about all this stuff. You know, when you listen to Denny Hamlin, you listen to the 20 car, you look at the 48, you look at those guys that are in the top 12 in the chase. They have to be a little conservative to stay in the chase. These guys right here that are up front that won this race and stuff, they didn't have a snowball's chance today. They were going to run in 28th or 29th. 28th or 29th, they weren't going to get any points hardly. They had to gamble. This is big. I like to see stuff like this because it keeps people coming back week in and week out, because no matter how the race goes, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, when you won at Watkins Glen in the ring, were you one of the best cars that day? Do you remember?
Was I that day?
Yeah, I think you were.
I was good. I was a top 5 car. I was a top 5 car. Ernie Irvin run second that day, and I was a top 5 car. And yeah, we were, but man.
Kurt Busch is the race winner. Michael Waltrip, J.J. Yaley, Martin Truex Jr., Elliott Sadler get top 5s. NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing from Loudon on TNT is brought to you by Miller Lite. For the perfect combination of taste and refreshment, choose Miller Lite. Why drink anything but Miller Lite, the ultimate light beer? By Advance Auto Parts. Keep the wheels turning. By Sprint, proud sponsor of the 2008 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Speed is beautiful. And by McDonald's. Race scheduled for 301 laps, but called after 284 because of rain. And Kurt Busch, who started 26th, is the race winner. He's in victory lane, sort of, with Lindsay.
Bill Weber, thank you. Sort of. This is so unconventional. We're in a garage. It's pouring down rain, but you don't care. What are your emotions getting the win in the nature that you did, Kurt?
This is unbelievable. I mean, I'm so happy for our team to get into victory lane. You know, we might not have had the fastest car, but we played the strategy game. Fuel came into play. That's when we pitted. We made it to the end, and the Penske power was there, but we had the fuel mileage, and that's what enabled us to pit. And Pat and these guys made an awesome call. I want to thank the fans for sticking it out. I mean, there's high winds and there's hail coming in, and it's just incredible to race in front of them and not have the fastest car necessarily to win, but we did it today for Miller Lite. We can celebrate either way, if we won or if we finish 20th.
You haven't had a win since August of 2007 at Michigan, so what does this do for the team?
Well, it gives us a lot of boost in getting our points back, but yet it's not going to erase the deficit that we have to keep building on. We're pretty far behind. We need to put together a run like we had last summer to get into the chase, and I know everybody at Dodge and Mobil 1, Gillette, everybody's happy that we did it. Snap-on Tools, PPG Paints. I'm happy to have everybody on board, and I just, you know, sometimes you just don't win them the right way, and I think we can honestly say that, but we had a lot of work and a lot of effort put into this, and we'll take it.
I'm going out on a limb and saying this brings a whole new meaning to Rain Dance, Bill.
Without a doubt. A few Miller Lights for that crowd tonight. 29 races between wins for Kurt Busch. Now, there was an incident on the track between Kyle Busch and Juan Pablo Montoya. And
two cars not that good on the bottom, but he's got him enough lead. I think he's going to be okay. One to go. That 2 car just too strong for everybody today.
Looks like the battle's going to be for second. Carl Edwards fighting back, though, on the bottom.
On the bottom, you're clear.
Oh, Gordon's got a run. Here he comes.
Boys, Gordon got a great run. He side drafted off of Carl Edwards, and down the back we go.
Watch him. He's going to pack it down into turn 3. This 24 car. See if he can stick.
He can't do it. That Busch 2 car is just on a rail today.
Versus Big Daddy Kurt Busch, Roger Penske win in Atlanta. 19th career victory for Kurt Busch, who started on the outside pole and gets his 3rd top 10 finish of 2009.
Those guys should be jacked up, baby, I tell you.
Great job. Thanks to 99 for racing the school.
Led 233 laps.
2nd win here for Kurt Busch. And in his 296 starts, it's the most laps he's ever led in one day. It's also the 7th Cup win for crew chief Pat Tryson.
Look at him.
His 4th with Kurt Busch.
He is pumped up.
Hey, and there comes little brother. Say, nice job. Keep it in the family.
For car owner Roger Penske, it's his 2nd win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Rusty Wallace drove a Penske car to
make this last lap. He's got one more lap to go. Now Marcus Ambrose is out of fuel.
White flag, that time by.
Take care of it, bring it to the house.
Kurt Busch trying to milk it for one more lap. He has never won at Texas Motor Speedway.
And Kyle Busch still sitting on pit road, not able to get refired. Just barely rolling.
Kurt Busch's lone win in 2009 was on a 1.5-mile track, a sister track to this one at Atlanta Motor Speedway down in March. A year ago, Carl Edwards stretched the fuel mileage and won it here. And once again tonight, the fuel mileage works, and Kurt Busch will go to victory lane here at Texas.
Nice, great job out there. Woo! Way to go, guys! Awesome deal. How's the old tortoise versus the hare, baby? Woo! Yeah, baby, way to do it, baby. Way to save that gas, man. Great job, everybody.
They're still waiting on the 2nd place car to cross the line. Looks like it's going to be Kevin Harvick. If he can make it around. He's trying to. Nope, it's going to be Denny Hamlin. Harvick goes by for 3rd. Or actually, no, further back net, Kenseth will be up there. Mark Martin's going to end up in 4th spot.
And Kevin Harvick was coasting along out of field. There's Mark Martin. He finishes 4th, and now the points margin down to 73 unofficially. And there's Jimmy Johnson. Johnson will be credited with finishing in 38th position, 129 laps down. So 184-point lead when the day began now is down to 73 points. And how about $1 million bonus to Michael McGee, the Dickies American Worker of the Year? Michael, 25 years of age, out of Broken Bow, Oklahoma, who's an agricultural teacher. He said he would use the money to initiate a scholarship for students.
And Kurt Busch is running time trial laps. He doesn't have Kenseth on his bumper. The next flag ends the race.
All right. We're in the money lap now.
Menard holding a top 5 against Allmendinger, Vickers, and Biffle.
And he's holding a top 5 with only 2 fresh tires right now.
Kenseth closing the gap. Kurt Busch off turn number 4. Kurt Busch is going to win it for Roger Penske. The Blue Deuce goes to victory lane again in Atlanta. Clean and green finish. Finally.
Good job, guys. Good job.
Way to go, boys. Awesome pit stop. That is the way to do it. Woo!
They got this place dialed in, Larry. That 2-car does.
Well, it doesn't seem to matter who the crew chief, but I'm very happy for Steve Addington, the man that won 12 races with Kyle Busch. Things got a little sideways over there. Penske Racing picked him up when Pat Tryson decided to go to Michael Waltrip Racing, and now Steve Addington's back in victory lane.
When you got it, boys.
It is the 3rd Cup victory at Atlanta for Kurt Busch, his 2nd straight in the spring. Kurt Busch brings him down with Joey Logano on the front row. Let's try it again to finish it off. Green flag for $1 million. Oh, yeah. 2 laps to go.
2-car got a great restart that time.
And Martin Truex Jr. in that 56 car followed suit.
Hamlin got a little nudge of Truex. Stayed on the bottom behind Logano. Truex, 56, big drive off the corner.
Great run on the high side. Halfway down the back straightaway.
How about that? The 56 car wins the showdown, and here it looks like if he can make it around one more time.
White flag.
And Tony Stewart in that 14 car has worked his way to 5th, working on 4th with the nose caved in on that thing.
Stewart's come out of nowhere.
No mistakes right here for that cool $1 million.
9th try for Kurt Busch. He and Roger Penske and the Miller Lite Dodge are going to the bank. $1 million. Kurt Busch wins the Sprint All-Star race from Joey Logano. Or rather, Martin Truex, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, and Tony Stewart.
Roger Penske had a pretty good day, guys. Won the pole at Indy, wins the All-Star race tonight. The Penske weekend.
Brad Keselowski in that 12 car finished 7th, right behind Kevin Harvick in the 22.
Somebody said, and I thought it was a pretty good idea, they should put the winner of this race car tonight in the Hall of Fame, like they do at Daytona.
That'd be a great idea.
And if they did, it wouldn't be very pretty, but it would be there.
$600.
Well, his crew chief has been pretty good over here in the past, so I'll say that, and it's paying off again tonight. Steve Addington has done a whale of a job turning this Penske program into what you see tonight.
9/10 of a second is oh so brief, yet oh so far on the racetrack.
There's Steve Addington right there, made the move from Joe Gibbs Racing, from Kyle Busch to Kurt Busch and Penske Racing for 2010.
You have to be white flags in the air, but you got to also be impressed with the 18 car, Larry. Overcome all the adversity they did, and he's sitting here, he's going to come home in 3rd place. That's an impressive run as well.
McMurray cuts it down to 87 hundredths. A big waggle off turn 4 last time. He is oh so agonizing close to giving Chip Ganassi the Memorial Day double.
Well, the old vortex theory, she worked it in, Mike.
Because we just made a clean sweep of their checkbook.
Roger Penske prevails. Kurt Busch wins the Coca Cola 600. Jamie McMurray, Kyle Busch, Mark Martin, David Rudem in the top 5. Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer, Paul Menard, Ryan Newman, and Matt Kenseth, the top 10.
That's what I'm talking about. That was awesome, buddy. That was freaking awesome. I have never seen anybody drive a race car and be as smooth as you were and hang in there like that, dude, when we got off and everything else. I appreciate it, dude. You're the man, Steve. Everything went our way tonight. Everything went our way.
Kurt Busch becomes the 7th driver to win the All-Star race and the 600 in the same year.
On to the real victory lane in Charlotte. Woo!
Tell you what, though,
flag right here.
Coming to the white flag.
No pressure out the back.
Remember, it will happen if they're going to make the move on the back straightaway.
Hamlin locked on to Newman. Kurt Busch with Jamie Mack through turn 1 for the final time.
Here we go.
He's in your tire tracks. When you go, he's pushing.
Now it's go time.
There we go. They're looking. They're looking. Can't make it. Can't make it happen.
Newman, the runner-up in 2005.
Can't make it happen.
Has about 2,000 feet to the finish line to win the Budweiser Shootout for the first time. Hamlin low, Busch up high. Here they come. 3 wide to the stripe, and the winner is
3 wide.
Probably Kurt Busch, because Denny Hamlin went below the yellow line.
Yeah, that was definitely, he advanced his position by being out of bounds. There's no question on that one.
It is legal for Newman to run him down to the line, and Hamlin probably had one of 2 choices: go below the line or wreck Ryan Newman. Who will go to victory lane? That is the question NASCAR officials will decide for us. From the Goodyear blimp, let's have a look at the run to the checkered flag.
I mean, he is all the way below the line. The question is, would they deem that coming to the checkered flag and game on? And I've always thought on the last lap, when you could see the checkered flag, you do what you got to do.
The line is still a line, but Darrell, does Hamlin get the lead before he goes to below the yellow line? If so, he may be the race winner.
Yeah, it's hard to say about that.
And McMurray, he never came off the rear bumper of Kurt Busch in that 22 car.
Kurt Busch has won the Budweiser Shootout.
That would have been my call, but I'm you never know.
And Darrell, I don't think they have a choice but to stay like that till we get well off turn 4. I don't think they can start mixing it up too early.
Dinger through the middle. Allmendinger coming with Menard. Threads the needle. looking for third place.
And look at Ryan Newman and Tony Stewart, but they have nowhere to go. They had a head of steam, had to back off.
Transfer spot, Elliott and Yaley ahead of Nemechek and Conway now.
What will Regan Smith do in that 78 car coming to the tri-oval?
I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to push, push, push.
Well, he's got enough room to look out and try to win it, but he's steaming along. It's going to be Kurt Busch.
Whoa, he looked, but he couldn't do it. Oh!
You got it, baby.
He gave it a gallant effort.
He did. I was really surprised he even took a look, but the yay to him.
Kurt Busch is 2 for 2. And racing their way into the 500 is J.J. Yaley from Phoenix, Arizona. He had one shot to make the race, and he made the most of it. He and Bill Elliott will transfer in.
Got the free pass on that last caution. They came to pit road. I think they made an adjustment on the race car, and he's going to race in Daytona 500.
Now, that also means that Elliott will not have to fall back on his qualifying speed. That will put Michael Waltrip into a guaranteed spot.
Good for him.
He didn't have to race.
Based on his qualifying speed. What a move for Yaley. Got the free pass, found himself a partner, and he'll be in the Great American Race on Sunday as Kurt Busch will go to victory lane for the second time this week.
Gordon looking to the inside of Edwards to go to second.
I tell you, for Carl, I don't think, would have never dreamed he'd be in the top 3 after looking at the practice.
No, and watching that pass, I don't think he would have dreamed he would be in the top 3 either. He just pulled to the outside. He gave Jeff plenty of room. I would have never believed when they dropped the green flag on this race that these two guys would be in the top 3.
Yeah.
These two that we're watching right here. After listening to Jeff
15 laps
Gordon,
ago, like I said, looking back at the monitor, Jeff Gordon was way back in the field.
Yeah, and complaining the whole time about not being able to turn into the corner. And as you said a minute ago, he was one of the fastest cars on the racetrack here towards the end.
And he's about a second faster than Kurt Busch is right now. He just doesn't have the time.
You know, I think this speaks volumes for this. We're on the final lap here. I think this speaks volumes for Carl too. He's focused on winning this championship. He had an opportunity to leave. He decided he would stay and work on this thing. Still didn't get it the way he wanted it, but he's driven it today.
I think he'll be
the way
happy with this.
Yeah, the way a championship driver could drive a car, and he knows this is a big statement to the other guys. If I stick around and stay here, you're going to have to think about it.
Another name you may add to the list of those who are thinking championship, the driver who has been so consistent the last few weeks. Kurt Busch and the program really on the rise at Team Penske.
Incredible. So much was made out of Kurt Busch and things that went on early in the year, things that went on the radio, things that went on within that team. But you can say what you want to. He's passionate about driving a race car. He got those people up off their butt, and here he's getting ready to win.
Checkers this time.
3 poles in a row. Should have had 4.
Kurt Busch a winner at Infineon, first to 2011.
Incredible.
They're proving they can do it. They adjusted this car when it wasn't so good in the middle of the race, turned it around, and now looks like he's going to get this victory. 1 to go.
1 more mile, but
The only driver in the top 10 in the championship standings all season long. That man, Kurt Busch. Just the one win on the road course at Sonoma. But steady, solid. After finishing 22nd in New Hampshire a week ago to lose ground in the championship, they're going to gain it all back with a win on the Monster Mile today. Kurt Busch wins at Dover.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Look at the rest of the lead lap finishers, but it is Kurt Busch getting the jump on Jimmy Johnson on a late restart, hanging on through another restart and pulling away to score the victory, his second of this season. And the win going to pull Kurt Busch up to 4th in the championship standings, only 9 points off the leader, Kevin Harvick.
White flag in the air for Kurt Busch. Jimmy is 2 car lengths back.
How many races is this?
6.
How many winners is this?
It's going to be 6, it looks like.
Back straightaway, final time. Cole Witt ahead. Michael Annett, Jamie McMurray. Johnson is to the back bumper of Kurt Busch. But they power off turn number 4, and the Outlaw wins the battle at Martinsville.
And Stuart Haas. Really, Gene Haas.
I can't believe it. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Awesome stuff. I never would have thought after 2 years that I've been here.
just think about the two new teams at Stewart-Haas, the 4 who dominated Phoenix. Today, the 41. 2 new teams, 2 new winners.
And for the first time ever, after having race teams that go back more than a decade, beginning, I think, with the number 0 and Jack Sprague, Gene Haas will see his company's name, Haas Automation, roll into victory lane for the very first time.
What an awesome day for that team.
Clear track ahead as
White flag right here. White flag. One more good one.
Kurt Busch leads his 290th lap of this race. Kevin Harvick within 1 second. Cuts it down to 9/10 in the back straightaway. Traffic too far ahead to be a factor. And for Gene Haas, Kurt Busch has his 26th Sprint Cup win.
Nice job, everybody.
That 41 car ran like one of those Haas CNC machines today, flawless.
Great job, Haasmeyer. Everybody, this is a team win. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it, everybody. Unbelievable.
He started the season under suspension for a suspected domestic violence issue, a decision by a Delaware family court when the state's attorney general declined to press charges after being on suspension for 3 weeks. NASCAR reinstated Busch from suspension to redemption to victory lane.
This is when the tears flow. Got to shed a few tears, I bet you, after what he's been.
Multiple win season for Kurt Busch since 2011. The 36-year-old Las Vegas native and past champion of NASCAR was 2004. He was the first chase champion.
Yeah, and his brother Kyle won yesterday in the Xfinity race, so the Busch is sweet Michigan.
A damp celebration, but Matt Yoakum is there nonetheless with the winner here in Michigan.
And down in the makeshift victory lane underneath the suites in the infield, Kurt Busch making his way to his teammates. They're already getting in line, getting the hats, and getting ready to celebrate. A hug by Gene Haas, co-owner of Stewart-Haas Racing. And Kurt, it takes a team to go to victory lane, but does Rick Corelli, your spotter, get the bonus award today for how he helped you work through traffic?
Absolutely. It's amazing when you have a team chemistry at the level that we do. And I grew up watching Rick Corelli, Ron Hornaday, the legends of the Southwest Tour run, and to have Corelli as my spotter, I have so much respect for him, and he has so much wisdom to gain, and he's a good mentor. He teaches me so many things, and it's a team combination all the way around. Tony Gibson led these guys through a backup car, and the pit crew was there giving their best. I mean, it's an unbelievable feeling to know what we went through, paced ourselves, and found the lead towards the latter part of the race, and then the rain came in. And so this is, you know what's more special about this? Winning in Chevrolet's backyard. That's what's most important about winning at Michigan. So thanks to Chevrolet.
A great example, you guys in this 41 team, all old school racers, and a great example of how you guys are really scrappers.
Yeah, you have to get down and dirty. You have to really roll up your elbows, roll up your sleeves, get your elbows dirty, and put the work into it. And Tony Gibson makes these guys work a little extra hard. And I always say thanks. I'm always there early with them. And it's a great team chemistry feel. So thanks to Monster Energy, Chevrolet, Haas Automation, everybody at Stewart-Haas, Mobile One, Rush Truck Centers, State Water Heaters, and Sprint. This is a fantastic series to race in, and it's a pleasure to be able to drive into victory lane.
Stewart-Haas Racing's first win at the Michigan International Speedway. And don't forget, later being Stewart-Haas Racing in 1 hour special. We go in depth and find out all about their relationships at Stewart.
This last lap's.
Yeah, he's opened up his lead now to a 1.5 seconds. The white flag will wave. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
If you run out now, Mike, you can't make it back. You can't coast all the way around this racetrack.
We don't know if he's out of gas because we can't hear the engine.
It's up onto the back straightaway.
I tell you, if he does make it, it's masterful bit of teamwork.
He have to take a lot of credit for making it.
Absolutely.
He really would.
Yeah, what did he say the other day in the pre-race? He's A-. They've been performing well, but not getting the final results. He makes it through this last corner. It's an A+.
I think he's going to make it.
Keselowski looks high on Earnhardt. For second place, Kurt Busch rounds off the corner.
He made it.
He can make it from here. Kurt Busch wins at Pocono, his 28th Sprint Cup win.
Nice job, crew chief.
Wow. Johnny Klausmeyer.
So proud. Johnny Gunslinger. Way to go.
Johnny Gunslinger. I like that.
How about that? First time on the box as a crew chief, and you get a win.
He becomes the first driver to win with an interim crew chief.
Did a hell of a job all day.
Since Matt Kenseth at Darlington in 2013.
Thank you, guys. Job well done. Job well done.
And nobody ran out again.
These crew chiefs, they're messing with us. They're messing with one another on pit road, I think.
But, Mike, that is a team effort. That is the driver, the crew, everybody did their job.
Lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Yeah, when I think of experience and knowledge here at Daytona, I think of Kurt Busch. He's been so close so many times.
Pushed his teammate to victory here one time. Is anybody going to push him today?
Look at the 21 coming on the inside to give him a big push. Where'd he come from?
Ryan Blaney from the back with Logano. Blaney
42's out of gas. 42's out of gas.
Who else is going to run out fuel?
21 is, I'm not so sure. Well, I think he's okay. He's still going.
Now, if the 47 can get up behind the 21, give him a push, he might get there, but I don't know. I think this might be Kurt Busch's day.
Looks like he's going to come home a winner.
Kurt Busch has been the bridesmaid in the Daytona 500. Here they come off turn 4 for the final time. From Las Vegas, the 2004 champion of the series, Kurt Busch, for Gene Haas and Tony Stewart, wins the Daytona 500.
Wow.
Wow. First time he's won the 500. What about that?
He pushed his then Penske teammate Ryan Newman to victory, and that's the old man, Tony Gibson.
Gibson, are you there?
He's too old to get that excited.
Tony Gibson grew up down the street from Daytona International Speedway and now goes to victory lane.
I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
Tony Gibson been in this sport a long, long time. And he's been the best crew chief for Kurt Busch that Kurt could have.
Doesn't have a deal for next year. Hasn't won in 58 races. Credit One to go. Kurt Busch trying to make sure he's in the playoffs with a win. Kurt Busch has a six-pack of Monster Energy in Bristol.
Oh, yeah. I'll be right back, guys. Now you're clear. Good job, driver. Burn it down.
Green flag back in the air. Overtime presented by Credit One Bank. Look at how hard the 18 is going into turn 1.
Kurt Busch to the outside.
Kyle Busch gets the lead. Here comes the 20 of Eric Jones. Jones on the inside. He'll try to take the lead as they go down the backstretch.
Kyle side-drafted his brother Kurt. That could be all Jones needs. Can he? Oh, look at Kyle Busch driving down into turn 3.
Can he hold it? 4 wide and into the wall.
Down
that was Chase Elliott. Side by side, here comes Kurt Busch. He takes the lead away from his brother. But now, Kyle Busch fighting back. Contact made as they go into 1. The Busch brothers, side by side. Tire rub by Kurt Busch. Kyle Busch now fighting on the inside. Once again, Kurt Busch making that outside line work.
What does Jones do here if these two get together?
Coming out of turn 4. Kurt Busch with the advantage. Kyle Busch slides. Kurt Busch will win.
What a finish.
Unreal.
That was awesome.
How you doing, man?
Hey, think about this team. Think about what happened to that team last week.
sitting there leading the race, pitted, lightning came out, then he come back this week and win the race. That is redemption.
And remember, it wasn't many races back when Kurt Busch was trying to catch his brother, and he said, if I caught him, I would have wrecked him for the win. Well, right there, those two fought as cleanly as you could fight for a win. What an incredible battle we just saw between Kurt and Kyle.
Those two had an awesome battle in Bristol earlier this year. I love it when it comes down to those two. They know each other better than anybody.
I was terrified for Kurt that left rear tire had gotten cut when they made contact with wanting to go. A lot of smoke off the left rear.
Kurt's loving this.
Yeah, Kurt Busch needs him to stay side by side. That's what's going to make it work for him.
All right, now that high side, will they get organized down the back straightaway? Day-Day's going to have some momentum here. Who will he help? Or will he go 3 wide?
Down here. Don't overdrive it. Wrap them.
How aggressive will they be through the final turns? DiBenedetto in second. He drifts up the track a bit. Kurt Busch, the 2004 Cup champion, is going to win in his hometown. Busch wins at Vegas. Kurt Busch.
Good job, man. Good job, man.
Started his career. Oh, look at his brother. The two celebrating together here at Las Vegas.
Hometown hero.
Oh my God, I'm elated. I'm elated.
Guys, think about the consequences of Kurt Busch winning this race. He came into this point, into this 12th. So that's a car down at the bottom, right, that is going to put a ton of pressure on more drivers trying to make this next
One
round.
lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank. The final time on this surface at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kurt Busch looking for his 33rd career win, which would tie him with Fireball Roberts for 25th all-time in wins in the Cup Series. Fireball Roberts has won at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And now, out of 4 for the final time, Kurt Busch is going to win the brother duel. He wins in Atlanta.
That's the keyboard. That's how you do it. Way to go, guys. Woo! Go, Chastain. Love you, buddy.
Gave his teammate Chastain.
Good job, big group. Excellent job today, boys.
Gave him a shout out.
And Kurt Busch is locked into the playoffs.
I'll speed that happen, man. Shake it back, buddy. Shake it back.
Kurt Busch, at 42 years old, is still on top of his game.
One lap car on the bottom, 2 up high.
Slow. Catching 2 top, 5 apart. This is the white flag. One more lap.
Brought to you by Credit One Bank. The white flag, that is.
Well, it's official. Just get this thing limped around there, Kurt.
Team 2311.
I picked for my ones to walk. Who was that?
Well, I mean, you always take the low-hanging fruit, Clint. I mean, come on.
This team formed by Denny Hamlin in a conversation with Michael Jordan. What if we go racing? Toyota jumped on board. With Bubba Wallace, they became a 2-car team. And here comes Kurt Busch to deliver the jump and the victory.
Hell yeah, man. You are the best.
Them boys earned it today.
Yes.
Brought a fast, hot ride. Brought a champion in that seat, and he got the job done. This is going to be a big celebration. You're going to see this cat be happy.
Kyle Larson, 1.3 back. Kyle Busch, 1.9. That breaks Kurt Busch's string. In 3 of his last 4 wins, a driver named Kyle finished second.
Got to spin Michael McDowell off of 4. Kept it out of the wall.
Hey, pole sitter Christopher Bell gives him a victory nudge, and 23-11 gets both the win and a top 10 finish for Bubba Wallace.